Alright, you better verify it for tomorrow before we start knocking teeth and stuff. Yes, sir?
I find patience in the Day of Judgment. Everything that they've said to me will be accountable to them, but not to me. So.
I like you, sir. I wish everyone was like you. That's good. You can do that, huh?
Yeah, I find a lot of patience there.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir?
I just remember the verses that when the arrogant ones come talking to their sister.
Right. Or when those who insult Allah, you just walk away from them, right? فَلَا تَقْعُدُوا مَعَهُمْ. So just you can walk away. You don't have much choice here, you know. So you might be good to walk away if they're just trying to infuriate you. If the brother, like the brother was saying, they really think that's the case, you might, discuss it more with them. Yes.
I think usually you have to assume that they don't know better. It's usually something they've heard, and you tell them, "Did you read about this, or did you hear this? I heard this from a friend of mine or something, from the media or something." You tell them, "This is what this is Islam. This is Islam."
So good. You can question their source, where they got the information from, so on and so forth. If they're just trying to make you upset, it's probably better to walk away, especially if you know you have a temper problem. Run away. All right. All right. Be clean and be neat and clean in appearance. That's just the general recommendation. Like I said, you don't like anything I put up there, leave it. It's not an issue. But generally, I recommend that if you're purposely going out for da'wah, I recommend you look a little bit above average, or average is fine. But if you're purposely going out for da'wah, that doesn't mean if I'm walking down the street in my regular jeans and t-shirt, someone asks me about Islam, I have to run to the phone booth, right? My da'wah outfit, then I come with my khutra flowing in the back. Ask and I shall. So, generally, clean, what's the joke with on this slide? You want to remember?
The nails?
Yeah, there you go. Good man. So the guy, he's got long, dirty nails and they're all black, dirty, full of crud. And he's telling people, look, in Islam you have to be very clean. You're very clean in Islam. Thanks for remembering that. Be straightforward. Allah Azza wa Jalla is very straightforward with this in the Quran. That's how He gets His message across to us. It means that's the best means of communicating with human beings, being straightforward. Which also means it's the best way they can communicate with each other. That's why the Quran, any question, the answer is this. If you do this, that's the reward. You do that, that's the punishment. They ask you about, قُلْ, that's the answer. Very straightforward. And it also makes life so easy when people are straightforward with you. And when you're going around in circles and beating about the bush, as they say, you can't really get your point across. And the other person won't understand you either. So be straightforward. Ask for a name. Why ask for a name? New people? Why ask for a name? Yes, sister?
Because it makes it like friendly discussion.
Very good.
And also when I'm talking to the person, I have to say his name and his name.
MashaAllah. Excellent. Jazakallah. Sister mentioned 2 points. Yes?
Even Rasul did that as well when he was coming from Taif. And the orchard where he sat down. The guy who gave him the water, he also asked his name, which was Addas. So.
Jazakallah. Very good. And the Prophet actually, when he asked him his name, he used that to discuss, his origin, and then it became a da'wah reason. Sister said, ask for the name, it makes a da'wah personal. True? And you want your da'wah to be personal. You don't want to sound like you have a script, and you just come and you spill it out to people. So he makes the da'wah personal. And so the sister also said, you use the name. So, remember the name, and you ask for the name, remember the name, and use the name. If you leave one of these 3, it's useless. If you remember it, don't use it. What's the use of remembering it? If you forget it, and every time you come to use it, I'm sorry, what was your name again? Okay, John. I'm sorry, what was your name again? John. So, the da'wah becomes personal. Remember how the Prophet ﷺ, when he came to Uthman radiallahu anhu, what did he tell him? He said, verily, I am the Prophet of Allah, sent to you, ilayka wa ila nasi jami'an. Can you imagine that? That the Prophet of Allah comes and says, I was sent to you, and then to everybody else, but sent to you. Very personal. So when you keep using that name in da'wah, so John, we would love that you become our brother in Islam. So John, we actually discussed the most important parts of the religion, and you actually right now have the ingredients, John, of becoming a Muslim, John. So you can now, John, become Muslim, John. Yeah? So use the name, not like that, of course. Number 5, find out the beliefs of your Prophet. I think I mentioned that before. Number 6, smile. And I always tell people you are representing a misrepresented religion. You're representing a misrepresented religion. So make it a nice experience. Smile. Now, I don't know, does that work here in Canada? Or maybe you shouldn't smile in Canada? But whatever, if it works, khalas, smile. But I think smiling works universally. I think wherever you are, I don't think there's any culture where if you smile, it means you're upset. So smile, and it makes it so much easier. And smiling is contagious, and it shows that you are happy to be there, and it shows that you are confident, because people are not confident, they don't smile. So it says a lot of things. It conveys a lot of messages. So smile constantly. Even when they say something rude, you smile. They refuse your pamphlet. Smile. They throw it in the trash. Smile. One time, we're walking down, and there were two brothers in front of us handing out pamphlets. They gave a pamphlet to this guy, and he just threw it right in the trash. And then, because basically, this was, the du'at were coming at him like this. He took the pamphlet. When they went by, there was a trash can. He threw it. Then he looked up, and we were coming. So now he felt embarrassed that he just saw me throw the pamphlet. When we walked by him, I said, "Second chance. Khalas, no big deal, But he said, "No, thank you. No problem. Doesn't have to work every time." Anyways, okay, so you're trying to avoid unnecessary arguments, unnecessary confrontations, and that's one of the benefits of having a partner, number 8, because they can help you with issues like that. Sometimes you might give da'wah to two friends. One of them is starting to be is responsive. The other person is not. And subhanAllah, you'll find that the one who's not responsive, who's being argumentative, will rub off on the other guy. So here, this is where your partner split them apart. And how do you split people apart? There are two people standing over here, you're talking to them, and you're standing, and your partner's standing here. And this guy is making good headway with this guy, and this guy is not doing a good job arguing. I want to separate them from each other. How do we do it? You just say, look, you stay with you, go with him over there. How do you do it? Well, how would you do it?
The partner can just ask the other guy a question and kind of slowly move away from the conversation.
There you go. Now all I have to do is, so I'm talking to someone over here, my partner's over there, I want to move this guy all the way over there. So then I just keep talking to him, and I just take a step over like this, and then he moves a little bit. A little by little, I move over, and I keep talking to him, and he keeps moving with me, and finally you'll find that we're over here, and the partner's still where they are. Or even if I take 2 steps this way, and my partner takes 2 steps that way, khalas, we've separated them. Okay? So it's not that any. Not everything is just So some of the things just be a little artsy, a little finesse. That's it. Makes life easier. Okay, here number 9 means keep your focus on tawheed, and we're coming to this when we discuss the process, the chart. We're not just throwing information. I told you about the guy with the chicken, right? Yeah, the guy who basically gave a talk. I'm talking about tawheed, and it was a dinner. It was a talk, a speech, and there was a dinner. During the dinner, some Muslim he thought it was necessary to introduce this potential revert to the concept of dhabiha and halal meat. So the guy was very intrigued by it, and now after the dinner, I'm trying to talk to him about tawheed, and he keeps asking me about halal meat. So every time I'm talking about tawheed, he interrupts me. Okay, well, let me ask you this question. So suppose then the chicken was killed in a dhabiha way, but it was not raised in a humane way. Does it still make it halal? And I generally like this topic, of organic, not of halal, not halal. I like the organic and humane and all that. So we're talking. So I would find myself going into that. Then I stop myself. No. What are you doing? Come back to tawheed. Well, but if the chicken was, and then I get back to the chicken. Then you know what? In the end, I just have to tell him, listen. Don't worry about the chicken right now. Okay? Right now, I want you to worry about yourself. When you become Muslim, we'll go and we'll fight for the rights of the chicken, and we'll have signs up for the chicken. Free the chickens. Just to give you, this is so you know how much your society needs you. Like, brother in Toronto, you may have heard this. He told me that they had a table, they had a big sign that said free Quran. So an old lady came up to him and she said, "What did Quran do?" She thought Quran was some guy in prison. We're fighting for him. Free Quran. She said, "What did Quran do exactly?" So this is what you're dealing with. Like, people need you. Okay. 10, use simple language. That's just basic, Some brothers have a big vocabulary and they always want to show off. They think to convince people, come off as a professor. So they use big words like elephant and hippopotamus. Thank you, sir. Big, long English words. It's impressive. One of the most effective du'a we've ever seen, he has the same speech. He gives it to professors, homeless people. Everybody gets the same speech. This is one of the most effective, not successful, but effective du'a I've ever seen. Ever. And he tells everybody about the 3 questions of the grave. That's his technique. That's it. The 3 questions of the grave. He's done it. He's said it so many times. He has this incredible rhythm. When he gets started, you feel like you're floating. He has this very strange rhythm, and he just keeps going. Everybody, intellectual, non-intellectual, they become Muslim through the same basic thing. So you keep it simple, you get everybody. Everybody understands simple. The simple mind, and the whatever, whoever is not simple, will understand it. But if you keep it at a high level, you miss out. You miss all the simple people. But we said this before. You look for these things. You try to find what is the issue, what's the obstacle, what's the need. And sometimes it's just ridiculous things, and sometimes it's not. And one time there was someone interested in Islam. They said the only problem is that I don't like the fact that divorce is allowed in Islam. That's it. So then you explain that how it can in some cases even be a mercy. These people will be forced to live their life together when they can't stand each other anymore. Or then anyway. So let me give you one example here, just so you get an idea. There was a guy, co-worker, and we agreed that he's going to come over to my house over the weekend, and we're going to talk about religion. So we had this agreement. That means I have time. He knows it's about religion. He's not going to escape the topic or anything like that. So we made this agreement, let's say Monday. So Monday during break, later on in the day, he would come to me and say, so we're on for this weekend, right? But you're not going to convert me. Tuesday, he comes in, hey, we're on this weekend? You're not converting me. Wednesday, he's saying the same thing. Now, do we know exactly why he's saying that? Not exactly, right? But we can take guesses. So, who would like to take a guess? Why is he saying that? No, new people. Yes, sir?
He had what he thought was a killer argument.
Oh, okay. So maybe he thought that he's got a strong argument. He's going to lay it on me. Yes, sir?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
He's got some strong argument. What else? Just guessing now. No one's wrong. Yes, sir?
He's trying to intimidate you first.
He's trying to intimidate me first, right? Yes, sir?
He believes the strength is in refuting whatever you say.
He believes, he's very confident that he can refute whatever I say.
He's a devout believer.
He's a devout believer. His sister in the back? Ego, yes?
He may actually be insecure.
He could be insecure. Now, are all these possibilities true? Everyone agree? Everything that was said right now could have been true, right? And all of these were possible examples. But I thought what the last sister said. Now, I'm not saying, hey, guess what? My way is right. But I said, let me test. I think he's insecure. Now, I tested it, and it happened to be the case. I could have tested it, and it could have been what the brother said over here. But I tested it, at least. So what are you going to do? It could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that. But I'm going to test and see which one it is. Make sense? We don't know the unseen here. We test and we diagnose. And so what the sister said, he might be a little insecure. So he's telling himself, he's getting himself pumped up. You're not converting me, you're not converting me. Now for me, that's not a good thing. Why? Why? Ahmed?
He's going to come in with the attitude that he's not going to...
Exactly. He's going to come in with this mindset, I'm not going to be convinced, I don't want to hear it, I'm coming in for a clash, for a headbutt. And I don't want that. So, what are possible ways, again, there's no wrong answer, what are possible ways you can get him to think, no, it's not like that? What might you say to them? Yes, sister?